So I'm watching this video the other night and I'm reading through the comments and someone said something really interesting and it resonated with me. The person wrote, "The more you play by the rules, the worse it gets." And I know you might think that's a pretty simple comment and why would that mean anything to you? But when you really pull back the curtain on hard work, being dependable, following the status quo, you begin to see how the game is played, especially in the workforce. And I've been a part of the workforce since I was 18, so this comment hit home because this was somebody else putting words to something that I've been watching play out in real time for years. Now, I want to be straight with you right off the bat here. I'm not sitting here telling you to go break the law or pull some reckless stunt that loses you your house or your freedom. I don't break the law. I consider myself to be a responsible citizen. I go to work and I get my work done. When I talk about playing by the rules, I'm talking about that unspoken trap a lot of us get sucked into very early on. We are told to go to school, get a job, work harder than anyone else, and we will be rewarded for it. You think if you go above and beyond, if you exceed expectations, if you bend over backwards for a company, for a paycheck, that is actually gonna pay off for you in the end. You think being the dependable guy or girl who never says no is how you get ahead, and you figure the harder you push, the more they're gonna value you. But the truth is, and I learned pretty early on, in my 30s I'd say, that companies don't give a crap about you. When you show management that you'll break your back to meet any expectation, even an unreasonable expectation, they don't reward you with a bigger check or real security. They just reward you with more work. And it goes a little something like this. Companies want to earn as much money as possible, with as much production as possible, at the least monetary cost possible. But how does a company do that? They identify employees that are willing to do extra work with no complaint, no extra pay, and they exploit them. And they do this by creating the illusion that their sacrifice will pay off in the end, through either a possible bonus, a promotion, or some type of recognition. But that rarely happens. Instead, the companies successfully increase their production, which earns them more money and costs them a fraction of what it would cost to hire another person. So being labeled dependable isn't a compliment. It's not anything great. It just means you're the easiest one to take advantage of. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. Back in the day, I used to be that guy. I used to think going above and beyond was the way you proved your worth. But I realized real fast that all it gets you is a 2% raise while somebody else above you pockets a fat bonus off of your sweat. Which, by the way, a 2% raise is nothing when your insurance premiums and the cost of living go up 10%. So I stopped playing that game. I meet my expectations, I do my job, but I'm not breaking my back for somebody else's bottom line, and I have zero problem speaking up or telling a boss no when something isn't right, or I'm being asked to do something unreasonable or above my pay grade. But I still see guys doing it every single day, and it drives me nuts a little bit. Now, I work 2 jobs, and my part-time job is in a warehouse, and I'll see management and they will take a task that clearly takes 3 whole people to handle, and they'll assign it to just one person. And instead of speaking up or handling the task at a reasonable pace, I'll watch this guy or girl running around like a maniac, sweating, overexerting their mind, their body, and their soul, tearing themselves apart just to hit some completely fake metric that management pulled out of thin air. And I look at them and I'm like, man, why are you doing this to yourself? Because if it was me, I'm going to move safely. I'm going to move comfortably, and I'm going to work at a pace that keeps me whole. Because really, at the end of the day, the second they see you breaking your neck to pull off the impossible, they make that impossible task the new normal for you and for everybody else around you. Every time you let them push you past human limits without pushing back, you are not proving how valuable you are. And instead, you're just showing them how much free labor they can squeeze out of you before you break. In my opinion, the hardest lesson to learn in the working world is that you actually have the right to disagree and to say no. You have the right to voice your opinion. You have the right to protect your own health. And you have the right to say no when a boss tries to crack the whip. And really, the only way to earn the safety and respect that you deserve in these situations is by refusing to be a good soldier. You have to set the boundary yourself, because if you don't, they will take every single inch you give them and then ask why you didn't give a mile. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm looking at it all wrong, but watching guys burn themselves out for a system that will replace them on a job board before their body even gets cold is just wild to me. So, have you noticed the same things at your place of employment? And has it happened to you? Let's talk about it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.